Hey everybody. Well, I figured you were waiting for me to get out here with the end of the world weather report, traffic report, and get your end of the world coffee and cake, cookies, ice cream, or whatever you need to get through this because we're almost home. All right? He's right around the corner. Oh, thank you, Jesus. All right, so first I'm going to share, and I'm going to start with remember 2 years ago in July 2019, I had shared a word that I got from the Lord, and I put out a video on it, and the words that I heard were poison water. Now, at the time, we thought about, things that had already occurred, like where they were finding needle holes in the covers and things of drinking water bottles, and I knew it was a little bit deeper than that, but I just still needed to put the warning out. And then we went through the time of, at the same time, there was a food shortage warning. And then that's exactly what happened. We had the food shortage, we had the TP shortage, we had the water shortage, we had everything else going on. So, yeah, they just try to come in and, mess things up and keep you confused. And confusion is not from the Lord. So, all of a sudden, last week I was sitting here, and sure enough, and I had a vision during this time, several of them that I had shared, that I kept seeing a vial of white powder, and knowing that this was poison or arsenic or whatever. I didn't know what to label it. That was going into the water supply. So, I think it's Olmsted, Florida, that I know of right off that I can remember, had an incident last week where somebody had tried to put a vial of this powder into the plant and drinking water plant over there. And it's a small town, but still, there were 2 other cities that actually had this as well. And I know that where I go for, when I do my sunset videos, that's our drinking water supply is over there at Lake Grapevine. So, okay, since then, I'm sure we depleted our water, and I encourage y'all to make sure we get some more. But then again, if they poison the water supply, so it's going to come in through the plumbing, it's going to come in through our showers, absorb through our skin, may cause skin irritations and things like this. So don't be alarmed if something like this happens, and just be aware that this word was given, and it's already coming to pass, as we are seeing many dreams and visions coming to pass, right? And notice how it always seems like 2 years ago, God always sends us a bridge is outside before the bridge is out, right? How awesome is our God? Okay, so I thought that was really great, and I'm so humbled and awed whenever the Lord gives me anything. And I know that when I shared that dream with y'all the other day, and I know the third part of that dream, I know I had to record that a couple times because I just kept crying, and I could have gone on for, a long time about the third part of the dream. But for the gist of it, all right, I just want to let you know that, He's still opening things up to me and reminding me that I had turned the corner, and there he was. So he's right around the corner is what he is saying. I truly believe it. Look around, y'all. Do you really think that things are going to go back to anything even close to normal? Is there going to be any kind of a normalcy? We know about Agenda 21. We know about the Georgia Guidestones. We know about all these things, right? And, let's call him Dr. Frank. And Dr. Frank, if you look at my Twitter page, you'll see that he had put out a call that he was expecting a universal push for the jab come April. And they're saying 600,000 doses just in the United States alone. 600 million around the world. So they're almost at their goal, actually, as the Netherlands are on a very strict lockdown, UK, Italy, Israel is very proud to say that they're the first country that has everybody done, all right? And we know that Canada, we know that every place is different as well. And even every state in the United States is different, and even every county is different as far as the restrictions and the rules and things like this, all right? So then I'm seeing him on, well, I think it's the White House, not the Gov, but the White House channel, and it was the CDC thing, and he was with President Biden and talking about how President Biden was talking about how he was going to be distributing these things free to the community centers. And he's making it sound like, the underprivileged kids and the poor kids and things like this, and in the hard-hit cities and the places where the numbers are high, to protect them, because don't forget, we're the bad guys. If you're not conforming, then we're one of the bad guys and going against the process, right? So he's going to be doing this. I think he said Los Angeles is one, Chicago, Philadelphia, the poor cities, New York, places that they have big community centers. And then, of course, you're looking at the senior centers as well, because they really don't have any choice, and they're being offered money to take it. Okay? So we also know the effects of these things, right? And we know, and we see, excuse me, I'm really dealing with these allergies that we don't have. I'm sorry, where was I? Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're seeing that, they're using these things as emotional ploys, and people are flocking like crazy to get to these white tents to get in line. They're even saying now that you have to make an appointment. That's how crowded they are. They're just pushing the fear tactics and the confusion, and none of that comes from the Lord. Just remember that, okay? We're not of this world. We're just in it and just passing through, and we are awake, all right? So as they're saying that, I'm not going to do that, and you're not going to do that, and you know that, but many Christians have, and I believe that, they're doing this for the sake of their job, or maybe they were put into a position to take it. I don't know, but I'm sitting here thinking, all right, so, some of us all just might be put in a position to either take it or lose it. And, well, by faith I will walk, and I will trust the Lord, because it is faith that pleases God. Faith is what he's looking for when he returns. And no, I won't do that, because I am aware of it and the consequences of it as well. Okay, so we see the effects of this, and it's not that not everybody's going to be responding like in the very first one. So, I understand that there's 3 times that they have to do this, and I think it's worse every time. But if you don't know what's in the ingredients, please do the research and find out what's in there. It's not anything that's good for you whatsoever, right? I mean, we know the air we're breathing, nothing's good for us here. We're not being able to even function as humans, never mind having all of our rights and freedoms taken away. But we are free in Jesus, and when we are set free, we are free indeed. Okay, he also said that coming to school year, that all children will have to be taken care of before they will be able to enter school. Okay, all right, so I thought you'd like to know that. And my goodness, I pray we're not here. As I was sitting outside the other day, was a beautiful, almost 70-degree day. The trees were budding, and then all this stuff came through. Okay, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. All right, so then as I'm seeing all this going on, I'm watching, I'm still got my eyes on Jesus, of course, first and upmost. But I'm watching Kilauea, and I haven't seen anything come out on it lately. So I made some friends over there in 2017. You know, the Lord always warns us before the bridge goes out with a road sign that the bridge is out ahead, right? So it's amazing how all these things that we were told and shown a few years ago are coming to pass now. So when all this happened, you know, we're being shown these things, and I'm listening to Philip, who gets very in-depth, and I had put out a video also a couple years ago when the Kilauea thing was going on, and it's like, all roads lead to Yellowstone. Now we know what's going to happen when Yellowstone blows, okay? I didn't say if, I said when, because it's expected to, and they're already seeing all kinds of signs, and we have been for quite a while. So he's talking about this, and he's talking about the magma, and he's talking about underground and the gases, and he's talking about the formation on the island and how it's making little islands, and they're watching all this stuff, and I'm like boggled up with his technology, of course, and finally I asked him in a comment, I waited till it was over, and I said, Philip, do you by any chance foresee in the future, the very near future, that Kilauea would blow again? And he responded to me last night, and he said, yes, I do. He said, that's what we're looking for, is we're looking for all these signs that are showing that, yeah, it's going to trigger everything when this happens, because there's a big one, Mauna Lea or whatever, on the Big Island, another small one, begins with a P, and Kilauea, but they're all going to blow. So then I see that the one in the Philippines today has been smoking, all right? And then as well as Los Angeles again, they're saying that yesterday that they saw this big whale, the biggest one that there is, was offshore of Los Angeles swimming with a dolphin. Now, many times when we hear about these things, it's normally right before a quake, right? We see creatures and things like this wash up on the shores. So, it's like that triggered my spirit right there. And so, yeah, I thought that was a little crazy, and I thought y'all should know about these things. So, the other night, when I just was really having a fitful night sleeping and was doing a lot of praying, and I heard the Lord say, you know, that there's going to be a big division going on. And when I came out the next day, it seemed that everybody seemed to be looking for something other than Jesus. About somebody coming back. Other people are coming back. Okay, well, just remember, we've got one right now that is on trial, and he is the one that actually divided the land of Israel, okay, by taking the embassy out of Tel Aviv and putting it into Jerusalem. It caused a lot of havoc over there, and so that divided everything. And then the one that we've got in now is against Israel, and we know what happens biblically when all that is being said, right? So if you're looking at Israel, Iran, and all these other things, everything as far as Bible prophecy is concerned is all falling into place. We've even got places over there that have never seen snow or quakes or anything, as in diverse places, are experiencing the same kind of weather. Okay, so it's not just us, and it's a worldwide pandemic. This is not just something focused on the USA. All right, we also have to know that, or remember, that we even caught it on, well, on the news or everything else that um, the one that's in control now was sitting there saying that I don't know what I'm signing, but I'm signing it anyways. And everybody was just sitting there handing him papers. What he was doing was going ahead and reversing everything that the other administration had put into play. He was turning around, just like the enemy would do, right? And undoing it. So if you've got to think about it, we're back with who? We're back with the old health care plan, and all these other things that we forgot about. I don't know. But we're under all of those things again, okay? So things aren't getting better at all. And things aren't getting better in the world as we see it, as we see the perplexity on earth, but we also see the signs are in the sun and the moon and in the stars. And last night was the sign of the cross and the stars and in the skies and the moon and Mercury, and they formed a cross. So so awesome. Now, of course, I can't see it with my cloud covering here, but that was crazy. All right, so Monday, I don't know if you all felt it. That was when we had a super spiritual shift. There was an intense shift. Very intense. It was so intense I thought I was going to lose my mind. I had to totally focus all day long on Jesus. Okay, everything's been happening. There's been some problems with the mail. I'm not getting any mail. When I am, it's all junk stuff. I ordered a part for the refrigerator back in January. I still don't have it. Whenever they track it, they keep saying that it's at our main post office, but it's delayed. And that's the only answer I'm getting. I'm not getting an answer on why the mail isn't going. Well, I had to go to the UPS store the other day to get something shipped back. And when I did, I didn't barely get it out of my mouth. And I said something about the USPS, and before I even finished it, the gentleman said to me, he said, yeah, I understand that they're really behind, aren't they? And I'm like, I don't know. Can you give me some insight about all this? And he said he couldn't. But then again, okay, let's look at what's going on here. As I say that, first you have to understand Texas. We're just not used to snow, ice, this kind of weather. In February, normally by the pool. We don't have copper pipes, so we don't have anything around our piping to insulate them. We don't have cellars. We don't have any of that. And the Cowboys, whether or not it's 70 degrees, 70 miles per hour and 20 degrees on black ice, which is from the gases, from the oil and stuff from the roads, they're still going to go flying, all right? So if one crashes, then you can bet the rest of them cannot step on the brakes in time in order to avoid another situation. So this was pretty horrific, and I'll just share a few pictures of it with y'all, okay? Well, it started out where it actually was a pretty nice day, and then that night was when it started to rain. I thought that was really crazy. That next morning was when all this happened, and now the rain overnight had frozen. It was in the 20s that next morning, and sure, black ice. Okay, and they're saying that no more rain was in the forecast for that day. And they're saying that there was over 130 cars. So far, there was only 6 people killed and 36 people injured, okay? But doesn't this look like kind of a apocalyptic kind of situation? My goodness, this is exactly what I felt like probably would look like after the rapture happened, with all them cars piling up. And again, just another look at the roadway and how things are. And this is a highway. This is 35W over here in Fort Worth, and I'm off 35E over here close to Dallas. So it's a mess. There's 18-wheelers involved. One was a Coke truck. I think a couple were FedEx trucks. There's a couple of Walmarts. But they were all involved in all this, and of course all the other little cars. But the deal of it was that when my daughter called today, she said that she had some friends that were, well, humanitarians, and they were out there wanting to help. And as they tried to jump over the barriers to try to help them, the police wouldn't let them anywhere near them. And they're like, well, no, we're going to go get, these people out of their cars. And, well, the police did not want them involved. So the people that weren't injured had to sit in their cars and wait until everybody that was injured was taken out of the car. So this was like 8 hours of them having to sit there. So this must have been absolutely horrendous for them. And then there was a guy on TikTok that actually had, right from the beginning, and when you heard one go and you kept hearing another and another and another, and of course they keep replaying it over and over and over, just like everything else that we're seeing, right? Just to cause fear, to program, and to unsettle you, okay? That's not from the Lord. Tell it to go away or shut the TV off. Okay, so then I'm seeing all this stuff, and all right, so yeah, you're sitting at 23 degrees right now. And no, there's no pollen in there. Oh, it's 21 degrees. Never mind. Okay, have anybody else's electronics not been working? Okay, so our end of the world forecast here talks about, well, the snow is actually supposed to come in tomorrow, which is Saturday, for 32, and they're saying all the way until Monday night, about 16 degrees, 19 degrees on Tuesday, and then supposed to be in the 60s again next weekend. Okay, but then there's moisture in there at the same time, and or rain, so there's going to be a wintry snow and ice mix. And as it says in here, it talks about how, of course there's a storm coming, so they're going to tell everybody what to do and how to do it, where to go, how to go. But from 6 a.m. Saturday until 6 p.m. actually Tuesday. They just moved it up, so I don't know why the app hasn't changed yet. But this is going to be a mixture of snow and sleet, and I am in the area that talks about the 5 to 11 inches of snow. Well, that'd be pretty cool. I'd be the one out there making donuts in the parking lot, or snow angels in the backyard, or playing a snowball fight with the fur kids, right? Something like that. And or I can get a cardboard box and slide down. Yeah, right. Never mind. Okay. Those are just positive thoughts. But I just wanted to reassure everybody that, you know what? God's plans never change. He has great plans for us. Jeremiah 29:11. Those plans never change, okay? He is for us, not against us. He's made us the head, not the tail, the first, not the last. I know when I'm having a bad day and I'm really tired, I could get really down on myself, and I can feel like I am so unworthy and I'm never going to make it, right? Well, of course, I know I'm not. Only Jesus made me worthy. But he made me worthy. It's already finished. It's already done. But the enemy wants to implant those seeds in you all the time, right? So you need to take authority. As Jesus said that we can and will do greater things in his name. And we are fighting a spiritual battle. And the battle is the Lord's. And we will hold our peace. But we need to take a stand. We need to stand with Jesus. We need to believe. We need to have faith. Okay? So faith pleases God. Faith is what he's looking for when he returns. And it is by faith that we are saved by grace, not of ourselves or our works, lest any man boast. So there's nothing in me I can boast about but Jesus. Absolutely nothing. Nothing in me. So saying all that, I just wanted to say, be encouraged, everybody. As that dream I had the other night and the things that were shared together, and we're going to get through this together because we are a team. Team Jesus. We're going to be on track. Understand? On the same track. And the Jesus train or ship is about to come in. And as he comes as a thief in the night, we are going to be watching and waiting so that we won't be caught unaware of his coming. And we know that we are in the season. Just keep looking up. Everybody, brothers and sisters, be strong in the Lord. Armor up daily. He's given us everything that we need to get to the finish line ahead. As I say that, this is Debbie from Texas saying, peace out, Maranatha. Keep looking up. The King is coming.